That was Aaliyah at your best. Whether it is Islamophobia or anti-Semitism or hatred of gays or Asian hate or hatred of black people or hatred of Mexican and immigrants, the one thing that is constant in America is hate. Now, the names of the groups may change, even the reasons may change, but the constant is that hate exists. Now, everybody will be who is considered other at some point. Those communities have invariably been targeted. Right now, the latest iteration is Islamophobia or anti-Semitism. But just before that, 4 people were killed in Jacksonville, Florida, just because they were black. We don't have to recount the number of times. 3 or 4 years ago, in 2018, somebody walked into a synagogue and murdered 12 people. And last year at Tops grocery store, they murdered 10 people. And these are all a couple of years ago in El Paso, they murdered 20 people. So the people who are hated may vary. The groups and the reasons who are targeted may vary, but the haters never do. The people who are doing the hating never do. There are always different iterations, and generally, the only predicate that needs to be is that you need to be another. You could be gay, you could be black, you could be Latin, you could be Asian, you could be Jewish, you could be a Muslim, you could be Arab. The common theme, the two things that are constant in America seem to be hate and groups who are singled out who are other. And it's constant all the time. I guarantee you that if you say commensurate with a spike in Islamophobia or a spike in anti-Semitism, I guarantee you can check the other boxes too, because they're experiencing exactly the same thing. So when people talk about this new iteration, the cycles change, the reasons change, the epithets changes, but the idea that hate permeates our environment and is allowed to. Like, out of all the people we've called terrorists, the one dispensation that has never been given, that designation has never been given to white terrorists. It's never been given to neo-Nazis groups. It's never been given to KKK groups. They've never been called terrorists. Everybody's been called terrorists. Martin Luther King was called a terrorist. Nelson Mandela was on the terrorist list until 2018. But the one constant thing in this nation is that someone who is other than a specific group in this country will always be hated and victimized and targeted. Sometimes the target moves from me to you, or you for her, or him to him. But if you aren't other in this country, you best believe at some point in this nation, somebody from your community, or reflective of your community, will be targeted. And the haters, the people who are the victim of the hate, they may vacillate. They may be different. But the haters are never, they're always the same. It is always the same groups for whatever the reasons are. They're always easy to find. You know exactly who they are. And we never call them what they are, which is terrorists. Hate is as American as apple pie. And the people who perpetrate the hate are the usual suspects. Everybody knows exactly who they are. The sad thing about this nation is every group who is an other will have their turn in the barrel. The groups in the barrel will be varied, but the people who are shooting in that barrel will always be the same. That's a little note from the GED section. Got the Jazz Report coming up in 15 minutes. It's the D.L. Hughley Show.